In September 2022, my mother brought me a cup named Magda. It was a symbol of her acceptance. Magda is a name that I had to legally fight in a court and sue my own parents. I really hope one day everyone will be able to live their life authentically without fear of discrimination. Did you know that each transgender person in Poland has to sue, which means bring to the court their own parents to change legal name and gender marker? Otherwise, we face discrimination and exposure of our gender identity. My name is Magda, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm helping companies to build an inclusive workplaces with a focus on empathy, trust, and safety. So who is a transgender person? It's an individual whose gender identity, expression, and behavior differ from the gender assigned at birth. In my case, when I was born, a doctor saw I had a penis and automatically registered as a male on my birth certificate. So how is the situation for transgender people when we talk about companies? Transgender people are twice likely more to be unemployed. Also, more than half of transgender people are not feeling comfortable to be out at the workplace. Those data are such important and such sad. What companies can do to support transgender individuals? For example, Indeed, which is employment and search company, is helping transgender people in the US to change the states for more supporting if they need it, and also they are helping by giving $10,000 to each transgender person to go through affirming surgery, which is not covered in Poland at all, unfortunately. But how is the situation for transgender people in Poland? So each day, each time when I'm going out, I have feeling like everyone is staring at me, judging me. I constantly wonder, do I look enough feminine? Do I look the part? It's such not nice feeling. It's horrible. I don't want to live like that anymore. But let's consider something what is more pleasant for transgender people, like using a credit card in my case. So once, when I started my transition, I went to the bank branch, and the advisor named Damon welcomed me. And when I started to introduce myself as a ma, pronounce she, her, it was, after saying it 1,000 times, I felt so exhausted. I felt like, that word, it's not good. But that person named Damien gave me a hope. He gave me a card which was named M, full stop, instead of Maciej, which was my full name before I transitioned. It was a small act of kindness, but it meant a lot for me. And it changed my daily life. When I was looking at that card, I felt comfortable, and it was very good moment in my life. I really felt like there are some people who really caring about our stories. in countries like Poland. So those small acts of kindness are so important during that hard, so emotional, and sometimes impossible way to change for some individuals. And this is the purpose why I'm doing what I'm doing for companies and for society, to change something. As we said, small actions can change a lot for some people. I was so grateful to him. I wanted to give him a hug, but I was a bit, shy. I didn't know how he will react, but maybe one day I will give to him. So what you can do to support transgender individuals? Do not be afraid to start a conversation. Always you can start from yourself. For example, you can say, "Hi, my name is, for example, Magda, and my pronouns are she, her." And then you can ask a person, "What is your name? Would you feel comfortable to share your pronouns?" According to the Travel Project from the US, nearly 50% of youth people who identify as a LGBTQ+ are transgender or non-binary. What that means? Companies who would like to create a safe space where everyone is welcomed, expected, and respected, they need to change their policies, processes to be more inclusive and more conscious, because I believe it's about not only intention, but it's about support. As I said, if you are starting, begin with yourself. Tell your name, tell your pronouns, and then you can ask the person. That's a big signal that you are creating a safe space where everyone can be themselves. So do not be afraid to start a conversation. And as I said, you can ask, "What is your name? And would you feel comfortable to share your pronouns?" Unfortunately, I've been in many situations when people didn't listen to me. As I said, when I started my transition, I've introduced myself as Emma, pronouns she, her. And for example, the doctor that did for me Adam's apple removal looked at me and he said, "No, no, 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 no. You are not Emma. You are Maciej," which is in Polish language, typical male name. And he said to me, "I can't call you Ma because it's not what is on ID. Do not be like him. It's not okay. If person is saying to you the name, pronouns, what you can do? You can respect it. You can listen to it. And what you can do? Support us." And again, it's such important because we totally change our life. And each day, sometimes we had feeling like everyone is against us. So small act of kindness, small act of support, that means a lot. How about making a difference for transgender individuals? Have you talked about it yet? Normalizing the topic and eliminating discomfort on both sides by understanding our needs, challenges, and feelings. And you can be like my mother, the person who changed her beliefs because she is very Catholic. First of all, when she heard from me that I'm transgender, she had a lot of fears. But on the end, in September 22, she came to my house. She gave me a cup. So always you can give a small signal of acceptance. It could be a cup, it could be a different thing, but it can change a life of us.